So Christóir Ó Luasa passed away 100 years ago on the 10th of November. He was shot by the auxiliaries, the Black and Tans, I suppose. And I'm here with Donal Cronan, born at Humple. Donal, do you know anything about him or his relations or anything?
Well, I know a certain amount, but not everything about him. But he was a section commander in the IRA in Cork City. Yeah. And he took part in an ambush there. And some policeman identified him or something. And he had to go on the run. That's why he came out there. He had relatives in Ballingeary.
Yeah.
He was related to the Welsh's, Tuairín Dubh and the Lucey's, Átha'n. And I'd say maybe more relations around too.
Yeah, I think he had two aunts living in Drummond, Julia and Kate, Lucey.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that at all.
That was written in some of the books or something on the internet there. The people that were at his funeral were listed out.
Oh, yeah.
Those Kennedys from up in Kinturk. It was a butcher, was an uncle, that's on the husband, the father's side. On his mother's side, sorry. His mother's people came from Kinturk, I think.
Yeah.
The father then from Coiste. But you said he was working in the city, or the father? No.
The father had a business there. He was a partner in Lucey and O'Connell's. They were selling farm machinery and that sort of thing in Mulgrave Road. I remember that business there when I was younger. But
very interesting. And who was his ancestors before that? Do you know any of those Lucey's ancestors?
I know that his great grandfather was Seamus Welsh from Carrickbane. He was the man that killed Captain Smith
at Coiste. In
1822, was it?
22, yeah.
And his daughter was married to a Lucey man from Coiste. And she had 4 sons, and one of them went to Cork and he started the business in Cork. And Christóir Ó Luasa was his son.
That's it, so.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So I suppose when he had to go on the run, the natural place for him was to come out to Ballingeary, because he knew people, and Ballingeary was safer anyway at the time.
Yeah.
A lot of people on the run was come out there.
Yeah, and that's how he was related to the Toomeys then as well. He was cousins with them, I suppose, because they'd have been related to the Welsh's.
They'd be related to the Welsh's.
Very
yeah. And I'd said John Cronan got in the John Mary Welsh would have been related to him. His mother was Welsh from Tuairín Dubh. He had a lot of relatives around, like at the time.
Excellent, yeah. What kind of fellow was he, or did you ever hear anything about him?
I think he was supposed to be a nice, quiet sort of a man, like.
Yeah.
You know, I never heard anyone saying anything bad about him anyway.
Yeah. He was so young. He was 22 when he was shot. He was going to UCC. He was trained to be a doctor, apparently.
Yeah.
So he was a bright, well-able young
fellow
as well.
Yeah, he was, yeah. But I'd say while he was on the run in Ballingeary, I'd say the sort of cover by him too. He was polishing up in his Irish a bit and things. But he was sleeping in a Béalic or in a cave there, south of the road.
Yeah, we know it.
You know that?
Tuairín Dubh, yeah. Faoi Luasa or Béalic Luasa, Lucey's cave.
Yeah, and he was up there that morning when he saw the lorries coming, and he ran down to warn people that he thought would have been in Toomey's house in Tuairín Dubh, and they had already left.
The word came from the village, apparently, that they were on the way up from the village. Yeah.
But he went out the back, and there was a rock there, and if they went out, they used to have a ladder up against the rock, and and when they'd go over the rock, they'd pull up the ladder after him if they were on the run. And that morning when the other men had left.
That was Tig and Liam Toomey,
probably the Toomeys.
Yeah.
They had a man working there, and he took the ladder. He was going whitewashing. And when Christóir went out, the ladder was gone, and he had to go around the rock. And that's why how the Tans spotted him, running around the rock.
Yeah, because there's a rock directly behind the house.
If the ladder had been there, he'd have gone over it, like, and he'd be out of sight.
Tough.
So it was tough look, like.
Oh yeah. So he continued down across the River Lee.
Yeah, and up over. And they said that he changed course then, that he was veering to the left, like, and that he changed his mind and went to the right, and he came out into open ground, and
right, yeah.
shot him. But That's tough going like this.
Yeah, apparently the bullet came out the cheek, or went in the cheek, I think.
Yeah.
And I heard then as well, there was tell me at home on Road that they took the door off. Was it Moynihan's house? It was close there.
That's right, yeah.
Where Annie Deneen, who passed away only recently.
That's right.
She would actually have been alive at the time there. She was probably one.
Oh, she would be, yeah.
Yeah, she was one, I suppose.
Just about it, right?
Yeah, she almost made the full course. Yeah.
She got the 100, and she was over the 100.
She was, yeah. So she was there. It's amazing that connection would have been there close if she carried on a bit.
Oh,
so
yes, you're right.
They took the door off the
she was there,
one of the sheds there apparently.
Yeah.
And they put him up on the door, and they brought him back across the river to Tuairín Dubh on the door. Did you ever hear about the fellow that did the shooting?
I did. I heard him saying that he knelt down and rested the gun on the ditch, on top of the ditch, and fired at him. And I'd say there was a lot of shots fired, but John Cronan got in Cullinane, told me that he was hunting rabbits below on the old moor, and he heard the shooting. He heard the shots going off, and he said the bullets were coming over the hill and passing up over him.
Oh, that's right, in the right location, yeah?
Yeah, and he was saying that was a sign that most of the soldiers were firing high, like they were firing at it, but they weren't aiming it. They were only just going through the motion, like. But this fella meant business, and he knelt down and rested the gun and took careful aim and shot him. And they said that there was someone up there in James Welch's place watching it, and he said that when he fired the shot, and he saw Christóir Ó Luasa falling, that he jumped up and put his two hands up in the air. Celebrate.
Go away. Where did he fire the shot from?
Just near the monument, about 10 or 15 feet east of the monument.
East of it?
Yeah.
There's a gate on that side, yeah?
Yeah. Not as far as the gate, but about halfway between the monument and the gate, it's somewhere there.
Amazing going. Yeah. And he was shot afterwards, I think, was he?
He was, I think.
Yeah, he was recognised.
Yeah.
He was celebrating that night in the market bar in Macroom or something like that.
Yeah. They got him. Whether they got the right man or not, I don't know. I suppose they did. But
yeah, apparently he signed for something in some hire or something, or went to give a motor vehicle or something.
That's right, in
Cork, I think.
Some garage in Cork. But I don't know whether someone had reported him or not. Like, were they heading for Tuairín, or came in any of Tuairín Dubh, or whether only just a routine patrol.
Yeah, I suppose the barrack at the village was gone at the time. It was burnt out, so the way they tried to control locals in was the same.
Doing a routine patrol, maybe.
Yeah.
Then again, you wouldn't know. You'd never know, like.
And the tomb is that there was warning out always. There was a way of letting people know if they were on the way back towards.
We're in the road, if you always, some few on the run staying around Tuairín Dubh or up in Ghaorthaidh or somewhere always.
Yeah.
They were kind of safe houses and everyone used.
Yeah, they say he was involved in the lorries, the paint lorries.
I think he was. I think himself and Scotty were involved in that.
And they were arrested for that. I think he was arrested for it. Apparently, according to something I read there, that they went into Clash on the Moon, where they were inside a room learning Irish or whatever, in class or whatever, and there was 3 people inside there arrested, and the Christóir Ó Luasa was one of them.
They were around the village for a while because, oh yes, you're right. There was a few arrested at him, all right. Father was arrested, and Dan Sullivan. That day that they came out after, that was the day after the lorries being ambushed.
They wanted to get somebody for it.
Yeah. And
that's Father inside at the platform in the village.
Yeah. He was saving hay there in with Dick Toomey's father in a field there on the right hand side of the road when we're going back to
the meadow across from my home place.
Parky Faoi.
Oh, Parky west further, okay.
Yeah, that was west further. And they came in and they searched them, and they claimed that they got a bullet in Father's pocket, but they didn't. So they saw paint after splashing in his shoes, I think. But that's what they gave away to him. They were warned not to take anything after they were dumping all the paint and cutlery and everything. There wasn't a lorry, like.
Okay.
And they were warned not to take anything home, because if any house that they were searching out was thrown by him, they'd be in trouble, like.
Very good,
but someone put a couple of tins of paint to hide under a cock of hay there in that field.
Parky Faoi.
Yeah, and they thought they were going to come back for it again, like. And let it there for a while until things quietened down. And I used to hear him saying that when they arrested Father, he had his coat taken off and was up in the gate, and they wouldn't even let him take his coat with him when they were taking him away. That was the big complaint that Dick Toomey's father always had, that they were that
mean about it.
Yeah, that they were that callous, like that they wouldn't even let the man carry his coat with him when he going back to prison. Like, you know.
Yeah, he went out to England prison eventually, didn't he? I think?
He was, yeah. But Dan Sullivan then was arrested the same day. He decided, he heard that they were down around the village, and he decided to go down and see what was happening. And he met him there around Béal Átha Abú. And one of the soldiers, I recognised him from the evening before.
From the lorry?
Yeah, ambush. Because then they gave the soldiers tea that evening over in the old house up there, and I suppose in Coleman's place, it's south of the road.
All right, yeah.
They lit a fire there and they made tea for him. And Dan brought up loaves of bread from his shop. Dan had a shop and came in here.
Right, yeah.
Brought up loaves of bread, and they gave him tea.
They recognised him then?
Treated him well. And your man recognised him the following day that he was the man that brought the loaves of bread, so he was in trouble over it.
Oh, God.
Yeah. He got jail for that too, like. But
did they spend long in jail then, I wonder? Or did they go on hunger strike?
They did. They were on hunger strike. I think that's 14 days they did or something.
Yeah. Apparently it was a kind of a tactic they had at the time to get out, to be released.
Oh, they weren't released, I think, after the truce.
Was that right?
Yeah. No, they got...
Yeah.
I think that's 7 years they got, each of them or something. And they were in some prison ship there after the coast of France for a while, like, and they were in England then, prison in England. And I think Michael Collins got to see him. He visited the prisoners that time in England to tell them what was happening. I suppose when they were negotiating the truce or something, you know.
He was over there, yeah. All right, that was Fatherin and
Dan Sullivan. Yeah, we were going to work.
That was what you call him, Timmy Dan's place.
Yeah.
Yeah, his father's grandfather.
His father.
His father. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Dan Katie, they used to call him.
Dan Katie.
Yeah.
All right. What we say about Christóir Ó Luasa then again, back again. Apparently the annals up in the Dublin Castle, they had to give a report on what happened. I suppose the people that did the shooting, they said that they arrested him, that he had a gun, and that he fired a shot at them, and that he evaded them that way, but they got him again. So that was the reason, but that wasn't true at all.
No, that's not true at all.
No.
No, he was unarmed.
Unarmed.
Yeah. Actually, of course, that would be what they have to say, right, like they'd have to cover it somewhere, like.
They had some way of getting a story around it.
Yeah.
Very good, yeah. Now, after that then, there was a monument put up in Corrig. How was that? How did that come about?
I don't know. I thought that was put up maybe in 1920 or something, to the white cross that was there.
Oh, was that put up straight away?
I'd imagine that it would be, they were put up everywhere there was a casualty, like.
Oh, I see.
You know?
Yeah.
I imagine it would be, but that decayed away then and it fell. I suppose it was around 1970 or that way.
50 years on?
Yeah, or maybe 69 or 70, or it could even be 71. And Dick Toomey called a meeting of the old, the volunteers. You know, the most of them were dead at the time. There was only 9 or 10 of them left. And he said that they'd have to do something about it.
Yeah.
Because that the young people wouldn't remember him at all, like.
Yeah, after he gave his life for Ireland,
if this cross was standing again.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a car at the time, and I took my Uncle James and Joe Creed car in the Dora, and John Mary Welsh, John Cronan, Ghorthaidh, he was John Mary Welsh, and Mikey Callan, Clochfarach, was living in his daughter and John in Ghorthaidh at the time. I took the 4 of them down to the meeting, and I sat down in the room with them.
Where was the meeting?
During the meeting.
Where was the meeting?
Meeting with the Átha'n Lee.
All right, yeah.
Yeah. And there was a few more at the meeting. Bill Reardon, Lana was there now. Father O'Callaghan, Father O'Callaghan, there's Callan, was there. And then he Cronan go gone, and I suppose Denley hand agus gig. There was about 10 of them there, it's
Yeah.
there was about all of them that was left at the time. And they decided that they were saying that they'd donate a month of their IRA pension
Towards the new cross.
Yeah. And you know, the IRA pension they were getting was only maybe £1 or £2 in the month, like.
Nothing at all, yeah.
Yeah, but Shematashi called in and he said, no, he said, we'll have a church gate collection. You should have a church gate collection, he said. And they decided to have the church gate collection anyway, and they got a great response. They all lads stood out at the church gates with the church gate. They wore their IRA medals and things like that.
Oh, and look good, yeah.
They got a great response to it.
A good bit of money collected.
They had a meeting again the following night, and they decided that they'd they were going to put up a cross, and they decided they'd put up a plaque and write in the plaque what was had happened, like. And someone said then that it should be put below the road, not to put it above, that it should be put below the road, because that if the places that were planted with trees or anything that would be covered over, and it wouldn't be seen when there are any other no, that was there.
Up in Carrick, yeah.
That was too far away, so they decided that put it down at the road.
Where the shooting happened.
Johnny McCarthy, Tuairín Dubh, and Michael Dingeen, Tuairín Dubh, were both at the meeting, and they volunteered to do the building work, any construction work that should be done for the monument and things.
Okay.
And Michael knew a man in Dreamy League.
My father, yeah.
That was making headstones, and he said he'd approach him thinking that he'd get a good deal from him. And he did. They made out the wording they're putting it, and Michael contacted the man, and they had a meeting again the following Monday night. And I don't remember what it was going to cost now, but they had a lot of money left over. They had nearly enough for another headstone, and someone said that they'd put up a headstone or a plaque to Ian Mackenzie Kennedy.
To
Scotty
yeah.
as well. So Michael was sent off again to the meeting, and he came back, and there was still money left over. And Dick Toomey gave it to some priest to say, you know, being in masses for all the volunteers. You know, but they had a meeting then the following Sunday again after second mass. They all met west on the road to decide where they put it, put the plaque. And they had kind of decided that they'd put it there across from Johnny McCarthy's, there around the turn. Dick was going to give him a piece of the field, just a couple of feet of the field to put it up there, like.
Yeah.
And they were kind of after deciding that, and Dick said, we'll go back now, he said, and we'll say a prayer. And I was saying, why don't you say the prayer here? But he said, to West the road, he said, from back there, he said he was shot. So they all walked back up the road, and they all stopped at this particular spot without anyone saying a bit. And they said a silent prayer, and Dick said, it was from there now, he said, Dick pointed the actual spot, he said it was from there the shots had been fired. So they decided they'd put the monument there altogether.
Oh, good.
And
it made sense.
Then Johnny McCarthy looked in over the ditch, and there was a big drop inside, and he said, we'll put it over there on top of the rock. He said, it'll save a lot of work. So that's how it got to be that. It was about 10, maybe 10 or 15 feet west of where he had been shot from, where the fatal shot was fired from there.
Sunday.
Yeah. But then another thing now about Ian Mackenzie Kennedy, Scotty. He was supposed to be the last male in his line of last male ancestor of Robert the Bruce.
The last male left.
Our descendant of Robert the Bruce.
In Scotland.
Yeah.
God. So
And that's what I used to hear him saying anyway. And that he had he left a chart in Tuairín Dubh when he was going with fighting the Civil War. He left a chart out and giving it all his genealogy. And he had some connection to some of them queens, Mary Queen of Scots or some of them too.
Oh yeah?
So they were
Right. We must check that out around his time.
we must check that out now. Some
he was shot in Rochestown, wasn't he, or something?
He was it was around Rochestown or Douglas or somewhere.
Yeah. How did he come to be in Tuairín Dubh, do you know?
He was on the run too. He got involved with the kind of an independence movement in Scotland, and they made some raid in some place or something, and there was a policeman killed,
right.
And he had to go on the run.
So he came to Ireland.
Yeah, I'd say the father disowned him. Then the father was some sort of a lord or something like that. He had some title anyway, and he came to Ireland because Scottish law was different to English law. It seems that he couldn't be arrested in England for a crime that he committed in Scotland.
Okay. And
English law was here in Ireland at the time too, so he decided to come to Ireland.
Instead of England.
I don't know, how did he finish up in Tuairín Dubh? He fell in love with the place.
He got on great with everyone around.
Oh, he did, yeah. He did, yeah. And his mother used to come then to Killarney, and he used to go to Killarney to visit her.
That's all right.
And he changed his religion while he was here too. His son and the mother, they became Catholics. They went to Rome, and they were baptized there.
My God. Was he in Ballingeary long? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He could be there 3 or 4 years maybe. 2 or 3 years anyway. He was there in 1918 anyway.
Okay. So they put a plaque up for him also? They
put a plaque up for him too.
But they had the money left over from
the collection. They had money left over, and it was unveiled in some Sunday evening and blessed, and Donal Cronan treated all the volunteers to tea and sandwiches wouldn't go on afterwards.
Very good. That's brilliant. It's very interesting. And fair play to you, Donal, for remembering it and being involved at the time.
I can't remember all of it all. I can't remember the exact year it was done, or I can't remember what it cost or what the collection amounted to. Yeah. But it was supposed to be the biggest collection that was ever held in Ballingeary up to then anyway. Like.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And you drove those people to those meetings?
I used to take them down to the meetings, and I used to enjoy going to the meetings because when they'd meet, they'd be talking about some incident that happened 40, 50 years before that. Like, because I was just like a fly in the wall, listening away. Then we shared jokes and crack and carry on. And
you were great to take it in fairness, yeah. And you tell it so well. Listen, Donal, good to be in Margaret. Fair play, God.
Tá fáilte,
On the bar,